Hello, this is Miss Griffith, and I am here with another Sunday reading lesson for you today. This should be familiar with the students. It will vary a little different every day, but the overall majority of the lesson should be familiar for the learners at home. The first portion of the lesson is to read sounds. So I, as a teacher, would be holding up these sound cards, and each learner is responsible for making the sound of this letter. I'm going to demonstrate this for you. Ah, x, v, b, a, g, a, j, k, l, k, I, a, n, d, z, t, The goal of the first portion of this lesson, when the students are reading sounds, is to have them read the sound very quickly. You want it to be as automatic as possible. The second portion of the lesson is to now spell sounds. So as the teacher, I would dictate sounds, and the students would be responsible for writing the sounds on a dry erase board or on a piece of paper. Ideally, you want the learner to repeat the sound and then write it. I, d, er, ah, ah. All right, so now that was the second portion of the lesson. First, we read sounds. Second, we just spell the sounds. Once again, the goal of this is to dictate a sound, have the learner repeat that sound, and then the learner would write the letter that makes that sound. Now, the next portion of the lesson is to read words. Previously, we read words that had a short U in them, and today we are going to focus on words that actually have the AY ending. This is something we have covered in my class, so the students should have some exposure to it. The goal of this activity is to give the students practice reading words. Ray, say, pay, day, may, hay, lay, J, bay, hey. If you happen to be reading with your student or your child, excuse me, and your child would struggle with one of these words with the AY ending, I would break it down for them. So say this was the word. And the child says, I don't know. One thing that I might do in a classroom setting to help them is to put the letters in boxes by the sounds. So the R in this word has its own sound, and the AY would go in the same box because the A and the Y work together to make one sound in this word. After putting the letters in their respective boxes, I would say, this letter makes the sound. These two letters make the A sound. So when I put these letters together, I would say a ray. That is just one example of a way to help your learner with a word similar to the one I've used before. Now that we have read sounds, we've spelled sounds, we've read words, now we are going to go ahead and spell words. I am going to focus on words that end with a Y today, just to match the words that we did with the reading. As a teacher, what I would do is I would dictate the word to the student. I would say the word, and the students would be responsible for repeating the word and then writing that word down on their dry erase board or on their paper. The first word, bay. Hay. Lay. Day. After the learner finishes writing the words on a dry erase board or on a piece of paper, you would want to have the learner review the words they wrote. Bay, hay, lay, and day. After they finish spelling words, what you might want to do is take it one step further and dictate a sentence to them. One example is, it is hot. That is a 3-word sentence that the students would want to try to figure out what words you're saying, how to spell the words, and how to represent that in writing. It is hot. It is hot. That is an example of a dictated sentence you could use to help your learner in hearing words, hearing the sounds that make up words, and also how to put what they hear into writing. The last portion of the lesson for today is actually going to be to practice reading. Whenever you practice reading with your learner, it does not have to be perfect. The important thing is that they're getting their practice in. For this lesson, there are some sentences that I selected to use. Ideally, you as the teacher or myself as the teacher would show the students the sentences and they would read them. I might model it for them. I might read 1 or 2 sentences first and then have the students get a chance to practice. Dad will pay the tax. Rob is on the, Rob is on top of the hill. The tin can is not in the bag. Pam and Jan had fun in the sun. Any reading you can do with your learner is going to be beneficial, especially if you would model or demonstrate things that good readers do, like having your voice change as you're reading, stopping at punctuation, and things like that. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.